So, the Warriors just got Dennis Schroeder. I think people are underestimating how good he really has been this season. When Cam Thomas has been out, Schroeder has been the Nets' best player for basically the whole season. Let's start with the basics. Right now, he's averaging 18.4 points per game, which lands him at 57th in the league. Not bad at all when you consider how much talent there is out there. His scoring isn't just a fluke, he's hitting shots with some serious precision. He's shooting 45.2% from the field, which is pretty darn good. It's clear he's been making the most of his opportunities. But what really stands out about Schroeder is how he gets others involved. He's averaging 6.6 assists per game, which places him 18th in the entire NBA. That's an incredible playmaking mark, and it's something that makes him a huge asset to his team. It's not just about scoring. He's making sure everyone gets a chance to shine. With that kind of court vision, it's no wonder his teammates are always looking to him for the next big play. He's been logging a solid 33.6 minutes per game, which shows just how much trust his team has in him. When he's on the court, he's always in control, pushing the tempo and keeping the ball moving. That's the kind of leadership they need to stay competitive, and Schroeder is providing it in spades. One of the most impressive parts of his game this season has been his three-point shooting. At a solid 38.7%, Schroeder's ability to stretch the floor has been a game changer. Teams have to respect his range, which opens up even more opportunities for him to attack the rim or dish out an assist. You don't just get a stat line like this by sitting back and waiting for the ball to come to you. Schroeder has been actively taking over in all the right moments. And don't even get me started on his free throw shooting. He's knocking them down at a clip of 88.9%, which lands him at 37th in the league. That's huge for a guard, especially when the game is on the line. You want someone like Schroeder at the charity stripe when the pressure's on. He doesn't get rattled. That's what makes him so valuable in close games. Looking at his overall efficiency, Schroeder's true shooting percentage is sitting at 58.8%. This stat takes into account everything: field goals, three-pointers, and free throws. 58.8 is a fantastic mark. That shows just how well he's been able to score without wasting possessions. He's not only scoring, but he's doing it efficiently, which is exactly what teams need from their star players. When you add it all up, Schroeder has been one of the most well-rounded and effective players on the floor this season. He's not just scoring at a solid clip, he's making his teammates better, hitting his free throws and knocking down shots from deep. The fact that he's been able to do all of this while staying efficient with his shooting is a massive testament to how much he's grown as a player. At this point in the season, it's safe to say that Schroeder is playing some of the best basketball of his career. He's showing off his skills as both a scorer and a playmaker, and he's doing it with an efficiency that's hard to match. Every time he steps onto the court, you can feel the energy shift. The team knows they can rely on him to make the right plays, whether it's getting to the basket or setting up a teammate for an easy bucket. He's the type of player who just makes everything look smooth. When Schroeder is on, everything clicks. And I know a lot of you who watch my videos like advanced stats. So let's check out some of Schroeder's. Let's start with the basics though. Minutes played. He's currently sitting at 51st in total minutes played. Now, you might be thinking, that doesn't sound like a huge deal, but it does tell us something important. Since he's not a primary superstar like some of the league's biggest names, it's actually impressive that he's able to be so effective. With a slightly lower sample size, you don't always have to play the most to have an impact, and Schroeder has been proving that. Next up, let's talk about his assist percentage. Right now, he's sitting at 17th in the NBA with an assist percentage of 32.1%. That's pretty awesome. Assist percentage is a stat that shows the percentage of teammates' field goals a player assisted on while they were on the court. So Schroeder's been doing a great job of getting his teammates involved. When he's on the floor, he's not just looking for his own shot, he's making sure others get involved too. That's the kind of balance every team needs. And it's clear that Schroeder's got the vision and skill to keep the ball moving. When it comes to offensive box plus minus, OBPM, Schroeder ranks 70 in the league. OBPM measures a player's offensive impact per 100 possessions. He's not at the very top, but considering the team's situation, currently sitting at a 10-15 record, he's still been holding his own. The Nets haven't been exactly dominating this season, so to see Schroeder contributing in a meaningful way offensively, despite the overall struggles of the team, is a solid sign. He's not just a bystander in a losing situation, he's actively helping his team get better on offense. But here's where things get really interesting. Schroeder's box plus minus BPM is ranked 102, and he's one of the few players on the Nets with a positive BPM. When you look at BPM, it gives you a sense of a player's overall impact on both offense and defense. Schroeder is a solid player on both ends of the court, and despite the team's struggles, his numbers are keeping him above water. In fact, the only other player on the Nets with a BPM close to Schroeder's is Cam Thomas, who's at 101. That tells you a lot about how valuable Schroeder has been this season. In a season where things aren't clicking for the team as a whole, he's still out here putting in work and being a positive force. Let's dive a little deeper into what makes Schroeder's stats so impressive. A lot of times, advanced stats can get a little tricky and harder to read, but in his case, these numbers tell a clear story. Even though his minutes played aren't the highest, he's still managing to have a significant impact when he's on the floor. His assist percentage and BPM numbers show he's not just putting up points, but is also playing a huge role in helping the offense flow smoothly. His ability to create opportunities for teammates is key, and his BPM shows that he's making a positive overall impact, despite the challenges of playing for a team that's been struggling a bit. Schroeder's offensive game has really been shining through. He's doing more than just scoring. He's making his teammates better, and his offensive box plus minus is just a glimpse into how effective he's been in creating plays. When the Nets have struggled offensively, Schroeder's been one of the key contributors who's been able to step up and keep things moving in the right direction. This season, Dennis Schroeder is proving that advanced stats don't always tell the full story, but can give us valuable insights into how a player is contributing to their team. While his team may not be at the top of the standings, Schroeder has been holding his own with solid numbers in all the right areas. Whether it's his assist percentage, his offensive impact, or his ability to stay positive in BPM, Schroeder is showing that he's been a really strong, well-rounded player this season. When you watch him play, it's clear. He's not just a guy putting up stats for the sake of it. He's an essential part of what this team has been trying to build, and his numbers back that up. Schroeder's advanced stats this season have been telling a story of a player who's really stepped up his game. Even if you take out his total minutes and just focus on how effective he's been with what he has, it's clear he's been one of the better players on the floor. You don't see positive BPM and assist percentage numbers without making an impact. If you ask me, Schroeder's been one of the unsung heroes this season. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Schroeder, I want to dig into some stats of his a little deeper, because some of them are crazy. Let's start with the most impressive thing, Schroeder's presence on the floor. The Nets were nearly 10 points better per 100 possessions with him out there. That's a huge difference. You might not see it on the surface, but this tells you everything you need to know about Schroeder's efficiency and impact. When he's on the floor, the game just feels different. His ability to make things happen, whether it's through scoring, passing, or just creating opportunities for others, has been huge for the team. Now let's talk about his passing. Schroeder is putting up career-high numbers in assists this season. He's not just out there for his scoring. He's also been the engine that keeps the offense running smoothly. He's been consistently finding his teammates, making great decisions, and really stepping up his playmaking. It's amazing to see him not only scoring at a high level, but also setting up his teammates for success. And speaking of career highs, Schroeder's been hitting some insane numbers from beyond the arc this season. He's averaging career highs in three-pointers made and three-point percentage. He's been knocking down threes at an incredible clip, and his shooting is looking sharper than ever. His three-point percentage has been hovering around the high 38% mark, which is no joke. This isn't just a guy chucking up threes, he's been efficient, and his shooting is becoming a bigger and bigger weapon in his game. But wait, it gets even better. Schroeder has been one of the best mid-range shooters in the league this season. He's shooting an impressive 60.5% from mid-range. That's tops in the entire league, beating out players like Mikal Bridges, who's shooting 54.1%. Mid-range shooting is often considered a lost art in today's NBA, but Schroeder is proving that he's got it mastered. Whether it's a pull-up jumper or a smooth floater, he's been money from that range. When it comes to hustle stats, Schroeder's all over it. He's tied for third in the league for most loose balls recovered this season with 20. That's the kind of effort you love to see. He's not just standing around waiting for the game to come to him. He's diving for loose balls, getting dirty, and keeping possessions alive for his team. This kind of effort can't be understated, and it's one of the reasons why Schroeder's been such a valuable asset for the Nets. Now, if you're looking for a player who can step up in clutch moments, Schroeder's your guy. He's tied for 5th in the league for most assists in clutch situations with 9. Clutch moments are when the game is on the line, and Schroeder has been stepping up, not just scoring, but also dishing out key assists to help seal the deal. When the pressure's on, Schroeder has been showing up, making the right plays, and helping his teammates in big moments. On the defensive end, Schroeder's been very solid. He's not a lockdown defender, but he's holding his own and using his quickness and IQ to make life difficult for opponents. He's been active on the ball, disrupting passing lanes and making smart decisions to help his team get stops. Schroeder's ability to guard multiple positions and play with intensity on defense adds another layer to his game and makes him a two-way player the Nets can rely on. When you look at his overall player score, Schroeder is in great company. He currently has the 83rd highest helpful overall player score, which puts him in the same range as players like Monk and Andrew Wiggins. That's some solid company. It speaks to Schroeder's overall value on both ends of the court. He's not just a guy putting up stats in one area, he's doing everything, and doing it well. Schroeder is also known for his ability to handle the ball. His ball handling skills are top-notch, and it's been a big part of his success this season. He's able to break down defenses, create his own shot, and facilitate for others. His basketball IQ is off the charts, and that's why he's been able to make such an impact on the floor. Whether it's running the offense or breaking down a defender, Schroeder's handle and decision-making have been a big reason for his success. What's impressive is how consistent Schroeder's been. He's been showing up game after game, putting up solid numbers, and helping the Nets in every aspect of the game. His ability to contribute on offense, defense, and in clutch moments has made him one of the most well-rounded players on the roster. While he might not get as much attention as some of the bigger stars, Schroeder's impact is undeniable, and he's been playing at an extremely high level. This season, Dennis Schroeder has been nothing short of spectacular. Whether it's his career highs in assists, three-point shooting, mid-range shooting, or his hustle plays, he's been a key contributor to the Nets. His ability to step up in clutch moments, play solid defense, and handle the ball with ease has made him a valuable asset to the team. It's been incredible to watch Schroeder's evolution this season, and it's clear he's playing the best basketball of his career. Now let's talk about how he fits into the Warriors system. Schroeder is exactly what the Warriors have been craving. The Warriors have been struggling offensively recently, especially with their second unit. They desperately needed someone who could create shots off the dribble, get to the rim, and provide some serious scoring when Steph Curry isn't on the floor. Schroeder checks every one of those boxes. This trade is a win for Golden State. They've essentially given up nothing in return for a guy who's been averaging 18.4 points per game, his highest since 2020. These numbers are no fluke. Schroeder has really been that good for the Nets. Now the Warriors are bringing him in to help boost their offense. Let's be honest, Golden State hasn't looked like the same offensive powerhouse lately. They've been near the bottom of the NBA in several offensive categories over the last 10 games, and a big reason for that has been a lack of ball handlers and creators in their second unit. This is exactly where Schroeder steps in. What makes Schroeder such a perfect fit is his ability to handle the ball and create shots. Golden State needed a guy who could run the offense when Curry is on the bench, and Schroeder has proven he can do just that. He's been exceptional at scoring off the dribble, knocking down catch-and-shoot shots, and getting to the rim with ease. The Warriors are about to add another depth piece to their offense, and Schroeder's scoring will help them immensely. His numbers back it up. Schroeder is shooting a career-high 39% from three-point range this season, and he's taking a career-high 6.5 threes per game. That's exactly what the Warriors need to get their offense back on track. His perimeter shooting will space the floor and create more opportunities for Golden State's other stars, like Curry and Buddy. Adding Schroeder gives them another weapon to help stretch defenses and make things easier for their shooter. But Schroeder isn't just a shooter. He's also an incredible playmaker. He's averaging 6.6 assists per game, another career high, and he's been very efficient with the ball in his hands. The Warriors need someone who can not only score, but also set up plays for others. And Schroeder has shown that he can do both at an elite level. His ability to run the pick and roll, facilitate offense, and make timely passes will be a huge asset to Golden State. Let's talk about the Warriors' struggles. They've been dealing with the injury to DeAnthony Melton, who was a key part of their early success this season. Melton's torn ACL has left a huge hole in their lineup, and since his injury, they've dropped 7 of their last 9 games. Bringing in Schroeder gives them a much-needed boost and someone who can fill that void left by Melton. Schroeder can bring a sense of stability and scoring punch, and he'll help the Warriors stay competitive in the tough Western Conference. One thing to note, is that Schroeder is on a 1-year deal, which means the Warriors don't have to worry about a long-term commitment. This trade gives them some flexibility for the future while still addressing their immediate needs. Schroeder's $13 million expiring contract gives Golden State the ability to adjust their roster as needed after this season. This is a smart move for a team that's looking to remain competitive now while keeping their options open for the future. Golden State has been struggling to find consistency with their second unit, but Schroeder's addition could be the spark they need. He'll give them a reliable scorer off the bench and a guy who can run the offense when Curry is resting. His experience, playmaking, and scoring ability are going to be huge for the Warriors. If they can get him integrated into their system quickly, Schroeder could be the player who helps turn their season around and keeps them in playoff contention. Schroeder's ability to make plays in clutch situations is also going to be key for Golden State. He's already shown that he can be a reliable asset in the clutch, as he's tied for 5th in the league in assists during crunch time situations. Having someone who can handle the ball, make plays, and score when it matters most is invaluable in close games. And Schroeder brings that skill to the Warriors. Golden State's offense has been inconsistent, but adding Schroeder gives them a much-needed scoring punch and playmaking ability. He's been a standout for the Nets this season, and now he's going to bring that same energy and production to the Warriors. Schroeder's versatility, scoring, and ability to create opportunities for others are exactly what the Warriors need to turn their season around. If Schroeder can fit into Golden State's system quickly and effectively, this trade is going to be a game changer. The Warriors have a lot of talent on their roster, but they've needed someone like Schroeder to step up and contribute on both ends of the floor. He's an elite scorer, a great playmaker, and a solid defender. Schroeder brings so much to the table, and his impact on Golden State's offense could be huge. In a season as competitive as this one, every game counts. With the Warriors fighting for playoff positioning, they can't afford to waste any time getting Schroeder acclimated to their system. He's a guy who can make an immediate impact, and his presence will be felt in a big way. The Warriors are getting a veteran guard who knows how to score and create for others. And that's exactly what they need right now. Golden State is looking to regain its offensive rhythm, and Schroeder is the player who can help make that happen. His ability to create off the dribble, hit three-pointers, and run the offense will be key in turning their season around. If Schroeder can bring the same energy and production to Golden State that he had with the Nets, this move could be the one that helps the Warriors make a deep playoff run. Let's talk about the depth chart though. Right now, Steph Curry is obviously the starter at point guard, and he's not going anywhere. But what happens when he sits? Before this trade, the Warriors relied on a mix of Brandon Podds and Moses Moody to cover some of those backup guard minutes. But let's be real, neither of those guys is a true point guard. Brandon has great playmaking instinct, and Moody's developing his shot, but neither is a natural floor general. That's where Schroeder steps in. Schroeder brings something they haven't had behind Curry, a legit veteran point guard who can create offense, get to the rim, and push the tempo. The Warriors love to play fast, and Schroeder, he's lightning quick. I can already see him running the second unit alongside Brandon Podds or Moses Moody, acting as the primary ball handler while those guys focus more on cutting, spot-up shooting, and energy plays. Now let's talk rotations, because that's where it gets fun. When Curry needs a breather, the Warriors don't have to worry about the offense falling apart anymore. Schroeder can come in and keep things flowing. Think about a lineup where he's on the floor with Moody at the 2, Gary Payton at the 3, JK at the 4, and Looney holding down the center spot. That's a scrappy, defensive-minded lineup with Schroeder running the show offensively. He'll have shooters like Moody spacing the floor, and with Payton and JK slashing to the rim, Schroeder can either dish out clean assists or finish himself. Schroeder's ability to get into the paint is also a game changer for the second unit. Last season, the Warriors sometimes struggled with stagnant possessions when Curry sat. Schroeder's speed will break down defenses and open up opportunities for shooters like Podds or Lindy Waters III, who slotted as a deep option at the 2 and 3 spot. If Schroeder draws 2 defenders, guys like Podds can feast on open looks. That's exactly what the Warriors need to keep their offense flowing for all 48 minutes. Now let's say Steve Kerr wants to get creative and pair Schroeder with Curry. Imagine those two in the backcourt together. It's chaos for opposing defenses. Schroeder's quick first step means he can collapse the defense, kick the ball back out to Curry, and boom, wide open 3. If teams close out too hard, Curry can dish it back to Schroeder for a drive and finish. Plus, Schroeder's pesky on-ball defense will help take some of the pressure off Steph, who's worked hard to improve defensively but could always use that extra help. Speaking of defense, this team is going to love Schroeder on that end of the floor. He's got that quickness and tenacity to pick up opposing guards full court. Imagine Schroeder and Gary Payton II sharing the floor together. That's pure defensive chaos. Let's say Kerr rolls out a small ball lineup with Schroeder, Payton, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and JK. Good luck scoring on that. Schroeder and Payton can hound guards at the perimeter, Wiggins locks down wings, and Draymond and JK handle everything inside. That's a nightmare for opposing offenses. But Schroeder's fit isn't just about the second unit or small ball lineups. He'll also help when the Warriors stagger Curry's minutes to play with the bench. There will be stretches where Curry plays with 3 or 4 reserves, and Schroeder can be out there too, giving the Warriors 2 ball handlers and making it much harder for defenses to key in on Curry. Schroeder's ability to create his own shot means defenses can't just focus on trapping Steph anymore. Schroeder will make them pay. And let's not forget about late game scenarios. The Warriors have struggled closing games at times when teams lock in on Curry. Schroeder gives them another option for attacking defenses when Steph doesn't have the ball. Imagine a crunch time lineup of Curry, Schroeder, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. Schroeder can initiate the offense, Wiggins can create off the wing, and Draymond's there to make plays as the short roll passer. Curry, he's moving off the ball, hunting for that dagger 3, and with Schroeder's ability to penetrate, the Warriors will get plenty of good looks. But let's be clear, this isn't just about offense. The Warriors prioritize guys who can defend, and Schroeder's no slouch. He's quick enough to stay in front of opposing guards, and he's scrappy when it comes to fighting through screens. When the Warriors face teams with quick point guards, like Ja or Fox, Schroeder gives them someone who can make those guys work for every bucket. Another thing I love about Schroeder in this lineup, his experience. He's been in the playoffs, he's played on big stages, and he knows how to run a team. That's huge for a Warrior squad that leans on young guys like Pods, Moody, and JK off the bench. Schroeder can steady the second unit, teach those guys the ins and outs of the game, and help them grow. Oh, and don't sleep on how this trade will impact guys like JK. Schroeder's a master at running pick and rolls, and JK's athleticism makes him the perfect lob target. Picture Schroeder snaking through the defense, JK rolling hard to the rim, and bam, easy alley. That duo is going to give defenses fits. At the end of the day, the Warriors just added a speedy, crafty veteran guard who fills a huge hole behind Steph Curry. Schroeder can run the second unit, pair with Curry in small ball lineups, and add a much-needed defensive presence. Plus, his ability to penetrate and create shots for others is going to make life easier for everyone, from Wiggins to JK to Pods. This move isn't just a depth piece, it's a game changer for the Warriors' rotations. And trust me, the rest of the league is going to feel it. I want to go back to his advanced stats though, because some are very good, like his shooting for example. Dennis Schroeder has been absolutely lighting it up this season. Let's break down his advanced shooting stats because wow, he's been on fire. His points per game are sitting at an impressive 18.4, and what's even crazier is that he's outperforming over 88% of players in that department. But let's not stop there. There's so much more to unpack. His effective field goal percentage is sitting at a solid 54.2%. For those not familiar, EFG percent adjusts for the fact that 3-pointers are worth more than 2-pointers, so it gives a better look at a player's true shooting efficiency. Schroeder is hitting his shots at a level that puts him ahead of over 56% of players in the league. That's elite territory, but it gets even better. When we dive into his points per field goal, he's averaging 1.1 points for every shot he takes. That's not just good, it's great. He's showing off his ability to turn every possession into a high-value opportunity for his team. Whether it's a mid-range jumper or a deep 3, Schroeder can make it count. Speaking of shooting range, Schroeder is taking 4.12-point field goals per game and making 3.9 of them. That's a shooting percentage that's better than most players. And when it comes to threes, he's hitting 2.5 3-pointers per game, which is huge for a guy who can space the floor as well as he can. But the most eye-catching number, his 3-point shooting percentage, stands at a respectable 39%. Not only is he scoring, but he's making those crucial shots from beyond the arc with efficiency. Now, onto the true shooting percentage. This is one of the best metrics to look at because it combines field goals, 3-pointers, and free throws to get a true look at a player's overall scoring efficiency. Schroeder's true shooting percentage is sitting at 57.9%. That's amazing, especially considering how many different ways he's scoring. He's scoring efficiently across the board, and that's a big reason he's been such an asset for the team. To top it all off, Schroeder's points per scoring attempt is sitting at 1.2. which is an outstanding number. That means for every time Schroeder makes an attempt, he's giving the team a solid chance to score. His shooting is not just high volume, it's also high quality. Whether it's off the dribble, a catch and shoot, or a drive to the basket, Schroeder's making the most out of every opportunity. All of this is happening while he's averaging 3.5 free throws per game, hitting them at a solid clip, showing he's not just a shooter, but someone who can attack the rim and get to the line when needed. You combine his shooting efficiency with his ability to get to the basket and draw fouls, and you can see why Schroeder is such a crucial piece for the offense. What does all this mean for the team? Schroeder is the type of player who can really lift an offense when they need it. He's able to score efficiently, space the floor, and create opportunities for his teammates. All of this shows why his advanced shooting stats make him such an essential player. And then there's his teamwork stats. Dennis Schroeder isn't just great with the ball in his hands, he's also been making a huge impact on the court in terms of teamwork. Let's dive into his advanced teamwork stats and see how his presence truly affects the game. First off, let's talk about his MTW, or mixed teamwork, rank. Schroeder has an MTW of 78%. This means that more than 78% of players in the league are not having the same kind of positive impact on their team when it comes to creating that winning margin. Schroeder's ability to contribute to his team's success is off the charts. Now, let's dig into his offensive and defensive rating. His offensive rating is a solid 116.3. That's a great number. This means that when Schroeder is on the floor, his team is generating a whopping 116.3 points per 100 possessions. That's not just efficient offense, that's high-level scoring. And then you look at his defensive rating, which stands at 116.4, just a tick higher. This shows that when he's on the court, the opposing team is scoring almost 116.4 points per 100 possessions. It's not ideal, but it shows that he's still active defensively, making sure to apply pressure, even if it's not translating to a massive reduction in points allowed. When you put those together, you get his net rating, which is at a slight negative, minus 0.1. While that number seems close to neutral, it's important to note that his offensive rating is helping boost his team, but his defense could use a little more work. Still, with those numbers, it's clear Schroeder is an asset, helping his team stay competitive. Let's also look at his games with a positive plus minus, which sits at 47.8%. That means in almost half of the games, Schroeder is directly influencing the outcome of the game in a positive way. Whether he's hitting big shots or making crucial plays on defense, he's consistently helping his team stay on top in many matchups. But here's one of the coolest stats, the on-off difference. When Schroeder is on the floor, his team is outscoring their opponents by an average of plus 3.7 points per 100 possessions. That's a huge difference. It shows that when Schroeder is out there, they're winning the battle and creating more opportunities to score, showing just how much he elevates the team's play. Schroeder's presence on the court is undeniably impactful. His ability to contribute on both ends of the floor and create a positive margin for his team is evident in his stats. Even when his defense isn't perfect, his offensive output, ability to create plays, and positive on-court impact make him a key piece to the team's success. Schroeder's teamwork stats show he's not just a scorer, he's someone who can make the team better with every minute he's out there. But lastly, I want to talk about his ball handling. Dennis Schroeder's ball handling stats are off the charts. His ability to manage the ball and create plays for himself and his teammates is a huge part of what makes him such a valuable asset on the court. Let's break down just how incredible he is when it comes to handling the ball. First up, Schroeder's ball handling ability is ranked in the top 4% of all players in the league. His BH, ball handling score, is a staggering 96%. That's a crazy number, showing just how smooth he is when it comes to controlling the ball, setting up plays, and breaking down defenses. He doesn't just handle the ball, he controls the pace, the flow, and helps his team get the best shot every time he's out there. Now let's talk about his assist numbers. Dennis is averaging 6.6 assists per game. That's a solid total, and it shows that he's consistently setting up his teammates for success. When Schroeder has the ball in his hands, he's looking to create opportunities for others, and it's paying off, as he's also responsible for helping his team score an average of 16.7 points off his assists. But it's not just about making assists. It's about how often he's making them. His assist percentage is 30.71%. This number tells you that when Schroeder's on the floor, nearly a third of his team's field goals are a direct result of his assists. That's a major impact. He's constantly finding open teammates and helping them score. Whether it's a slick pass or a perfect setup, Schroeder's ability to dish it out is elite. As much as Schroeder is known for his assists, he also knows how to take care of the ball. His turnover percentage is only 10.23%. That means that for every 100 actions he takes that result in either a scoring attempt or a turnover, only about 10% end up in a mistake. For comparison, that's much lower than the average turnover rate for most players in the league. With his turnover number sitting at just 2.6 per game, Schroeder keeps his team in a good position to succeed by not giving away easy points to the other team. Schroeder's turnover numbers are impressive. Given how much he handles the ball, he's attempting about 15.9 scoring plays per game, and yet his turnovers are still pretty low. This shows that he's making smart decisions with the ball and playing efficiently. He knows when to take risks and when to play it safe. His ability to avoid costly turnovers while still pushing the pace is part of what makes him such a dangerous player on offense. Schroeder's ball handling isn't just about controlling the ball, it's about how he uses it to elevate the team. With such a high assist rate and a low turnover rate, he's helping his team run their offense smoothly and effectively. It's no wonder that he's ranked in the top few percent of players for ball handling. He's one of the best at taking care of the ball, making sure his teammates get easy buckets and making plays when needed. When it comes to ball handling, Dennis Schroeder shows up every time. He's always got a smooth handle, a quick decision-making process, and an ability to create plays for his team. With those kinds of stats, it's no surprise that he's become a key player for his squad. Schroeder is not just handling the ball, he's controlling the game, and that makes all the difference. Overall, though, Dennis Schroeder is absolutely balling this season. He's been playing at an insanely high level, and now that he's with the Warriors, things are looking even brighter. His ability to handle the ball, set up teammates, and score efficiently gives Golden State a huge boost. With Schroeder's quick decision-making and low turnover rate, he'll make the Warriors' offense even more deadly. He's the perfect fit alongside Curry and Green, and his energy and leadership can push them all the way to a championship. This season, Schroeder might just be the missing piece to their title hopes.